What's up, Valorant fans? Welcome back to the Valorant Report on IHOLDSHIFT. There's a lot of Valorant stuff going on this weekend. We've got the Pulse Invitational, we've got the Vitality segment of the Ignition series. In this video, we're going to break down what's been going on in the group portion of the Pulse Invitational in North America. We'll also be looking at what the playoff bracket looks like after the day of groups. In the future, I'll hope to get over to do some stuff with Europe as I do whatever I can to get the recaps as much as possible for you guys. So I'll try to get them in there, but it just takes a long time to get all these graphics built. So let's dig in and talk about what happened in the group stage here. Starting things off in Group A. A difficult group, I think, in most people's eyes, as you're taking a look at what was surely going to be a TSM favored bracket. But they do come off a pretty hesitant kind of result, only finishing top 6 at the Gamers for Charity event hosted by 100 Thieves in the previous weekend. But for Cutler, Drone, Hayes, Wardell, and Sabrosa, no problems here, as they would blow through their group 3-0 with a 13-6 versus Spectral, a 13-7 versus Echo 8, which is technically a rematch from the Immortals First Light tournament, and then a 13-5 versus the Charlotte Phoenix, where again, during the T1 Ignition series, they had a little bit of an issue closing Charlotte Phoenix out previously. Speaking of the Charlotte Phoenix, they will obviously be in our second place position at a 2-1 map total. Again, these were all best of ones for you, just to give you the whole context. Well, they had no problem at all here as they hit Spectral with a hot 13-0 and Echo 8 with a comfortable 13-6 to lock in position 2 in their group. Echo 8 and Team Spectral, unfortunately, will not be making it into the playoff bracket as only the top 2 qualify, and Spectral did not have the greatest of outings this time around. They had a minus 27 map overall differential, not the greatest for them, but for Echo 8 they showed some promise as again they were able to take a handful of maps off of both Charlotte and TSM and then didn't have much of a problem at all versus Team Spectral. Going over to Group B, Code 7, Immortals, Way 2 French, and Lazarus in that order for you guys, and for Code 7, oh my goodness. Maybe it was just the addition of Pan, but they're looking a lot better here since adding him into the mix. This is a team that had a hard time breaking through the Team Liquid Close series, getting even into the Grand Finals, let alone winning one. But looks like this squad is going to be pretty solid with the addition of Pan into the mix, as they were able to surprise Immortals their first game out with a 13-12 on Split, getting a revenge match versus them at the Immortals First Light tournament, and they would continue on their winning ways with a 13-10 versus Lazarus, close, but able to get through it, and a 13-6 comfortable win versus Way 2 French. For Immortals, Thief is actually the new sub-in as JC Stanny was benched a few days before the tournament started, but outside of the Code 7 shock, everything else went as expected. 13-6 and a 13-5 versus Way 2 French and Lazarus. Lazarus, although again they put up good fights against just about everyone they played, they weren't able to quite get a win here. They went 0-3, Way 2 French able to beat them 13-7, but again, they will not be joining us for the playoff. In Group C, Gen G would finish off on top with their 3-0. They had a very comfortable time pretty much through here, as they had really only a slightly tight affair versus Cloud9, where they found a 13-11 victory on Bind, which is good news for them considering that they lost to Cloud9 twice at the Immortals First Light. But Gen G has now gotten the better of Cloud9 in the past 2 matchups that they've faced. For Cloud9, Vice is the player who's getting an attempt here instead of Poach, which we saw from the T1 Ignition series over the last 2 weekends he's been playing, and things be going mostly smoothly for the quote-unquote new C9. They were obviously a little bit short of being able to get past Gen G, but nobody else was much of a problem for them the rest of the group out. Triumph, who is a team that we have not seen a lot of, didn't look too bad. They've got Capo, Simple, Derek, Stealthy, Mike Romanov, and Precision is their coach. These are guys that I've seen play in the Team Liquid Close series. They do well, so a good attempt here for Triumph, just not quite able to get into the playoff this time around. Oxygen Supremacy, not able to find a win. Going to Group D, well, this is a tight one. This was my pool of death, if you want to call it that. And I guess that was an appropriate call considering that there was technically a 3-way tie in this group. But based on map differential, it would go to Sentinels and Together We Are Terrific. Where Sentinels, again, they took T1 Academy all the way to round 25, in which they lost. But beyond that, they were able to have no problem as they destroyed Together We Are Terrific and Orbit to give them a pretty significant map win-loss ratio at plus 20. For Together We Are Terrific, this would have been a very disappointing exit for them. After they had finished second place at the 100 Thieves Gamers for Equality tournament, an exit in groups would have been extremely disappointing. But Together We Are Terrific were able to clutch up versus T1 Academy in their final matchup of the night, 13-4 on Split, which would be enough of a map differential to get them the tiebreaker boost over T1 Academy. to get into the playoffs. Orbit, no chance here. They didn't have the greatest of outings, but again, this is a recent team that was put together, so the experience, I'm sure, is well appreciated. Taking a look at our bracket from the winner's side here first, TSM and Cloud9 will be playing up against each other first. And this is a new Cloud9, technically, that looks pretty good. But are they good enough to get past TSM? I would lean towards probably not. Even though TSM did not have a great outing at the charity tournament with 100 Thieves, finishing top 6, they look like they've corrected some of their mistakes. And again, these were just best of ones in groups, but if they're able to get their favored maps, they, I think, are looking like a potential favorite here once again as we get into best of 3s. Keep that in mind. In our second matchup, Code 7 versus Together We Are Terrific. How appropriate. These guys matched up against each other. I don't even know how many times in the Team Looking Close series. Code 7 has not had an opportunity to get past this Together We Are Terrific squad, but that said, is Payan going to give them the little bit of a boost to get over TWAT? I don't believe that's going to come through, as again, TWAT, outside of their matchup that they played earlier today, where they got 13-3 by Sentinels, they looked good everywhere else. 13-4 versus Orbit, 13-4 versus T1A. So I personally think that Together We Are Terrific will continue rolling on, but as far as a best chance for Code 7 to beat this Together We Are Terrific squad, this is a really good opportunity for them to get that first win here this weekend. Gen G versus Charlotte Phoenix, in what very well could be a matchup of the dark horses, specifically for Charlotte Phoenix, who have showcased that they can not only hang with the big guys, but they could potentially beat them. So if they can find a way to get past Gen G, they would have a pretty favorable bracket to move forward, as they'll have Sentinels and Immortals. Granted, Sentinels are looking good, but obviously have some vulnerabilities, and the same could be said for Immortals. So if you were to want to be on one side of the bracket over another, I think this is the one you want to be in. Get away from TSM. Try to play up against other teams that are trying to establish themselves as top 2, top 3 squads. And if you can find a way to surprise Gen G, I think that surprise factor could potentially carry over into either Sentinels and Immortals. These two have faced up against each other, I would say, probably more often in the tournament setting than most of our other top 4 squads. In total, the matchup has been favoring that of Immortals, tallying a 3-1 overall head-to-head record. Though, to be fair, all of the games in the T1 NSG Ignition series were extremely close. So we'll be giving you guys the recap of what's gone on after tomorrow's games. Again, I'll do my best to get the Vitality stuff up, but I'm kind of spread pretty thin this weekend, so I'll do what I can to give you guys those recaps. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you like this style of video, please make sure you also consider liking the video on your way out. And for more Valorant esports competitive recaps, please make sure you subscribe as well. Till the next one, though, Valorant fans, hope you keep holding it down. Later. Bye-bye.